I was told by a member of the congregation that you had made an announcement about not being vaccinated.
Yeah.
So I missed that.
Okay.
Robin and I were very curious about that.
Yeah, what I told the congregation, and this is still where I am, is it's just not been out long enough to have longitudinal studies for its effects on reproductive health. And that's where I left it.
So for you personally, you feel endangered, or your reproductive health you feel is in danger if you get vaccinated?
It's a risk assessment about what I am most comfortable with, whether getting COVID or dealing with unexpected consequences of the vaccine, which people don't really know yet because it hasn't been out long enough. So, and council knows and presbytery knows, so it's not something that I really talk further about with folks.
And most of our congregation are elderly.
Yeah, and most of our congregation is vaccinated. We've got a handful of folks that aren't, and that's why we do masking and social distancing still and all those precautions.
And what does the presbytery say about it? It's entirely up to you?
Yeah, they say as long as you're practicing sort of the protocol for mixed vaxxed groups, which we are, and we're really diligent about that they have no policy for mandating it for anyone, congregants or leaders. But that the expectation is that there's vigilance on all parts, and that regardless of vaccination status, that people are very much practicing those precautions and not pushing that just for the fact that, if it's a mostly vaccinated congregation, a lot of times churches are feeling pushback that everyone wants to then go back to not masking, but the CDC recommendations are that both populations mask, so that's where we are. I just want to assure people, as I said in my council message or my sermon message, it's a real easy thing for people to make assumptions about the reasoning behind people not being vaccinated and assuming that people are, right-wing, Trump supporters, conservative, that it's a political ideology, and that I really push back on because I don't fit that camp.
Well, it sounds like you have a scientific argument that's not it's not popular, it's not really state supported. The state isn't saying that. I don't know what the presbytery says about it, but it's a scientific point of view that I've heard tangentially, but I don't see any studies that as I say, is it science? Where's the studies that justify the concern?
Yeah.
And then that concern trumping the health and safety of your congregation.
Yeah, and my response to that is I don't put anyone at risk beyond what I am intentionally trying to, do in my own behavior. So everybody knows, everyone who needs to know, other people who haven't. For example, like you having not heard of it from my mouth, I'm happy to talk about it, but I'm not putting people in danger just by sort of being self-righteous about it.
In your opinion. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.